Let's get you some more equity opinion. Our colleague Nimesh Shah is in conversation with Emkay Global's Dhananjay Sinha on the sidelines of the Emkay Confluence. Let's cut across. Nimesh, take it away. It's already a busy morning out there at the Emkay Confluence. Give us a little bit of the ambience and whatever Dhananjay has to say.
Yes, Lata, hi. The first big conference kicks off post the earnings season, and already the sense I'm getting is more than 400 investors are going to participate in this conference over the next 2 days. 130 corporates have signed up, so it's going to be a busy 2 days for me and for the Emkay guys as well. So joining me now is Dhananjay Sinha from Emkay. Dhananjay, thank you very much for joining us and talking to CNBC TV18.
Thank you.
First, I'll talk about the conference and markets as well. But first, a word on Infosys, because yes, I believe that's going to be a big talking point in your conference as well. Hold, buy, sell. What is your view now?
So I think the risk is still there. I think the uncertainty with respect to the issues that has been raised by Mr. Narayan Murthy has been fairly detailed, and I think the response of the board and the fallout that will follow from there on, the disclosure that is demanded by Mr. Murthy is going to be taking a lot of time. I think the issue is also with respect to finding an appropriate replacement for Dr. Sikka, and I think that is going to be a challenging task, because there is not enough candidates within the company to actually replace him.
What level you feel investors will become comfortable? Because ultimately it's a cash guzzler. It throws up cash every year. At what level probably you think a value will emerge?
So I think there could be another another 5 to 10% downside as far as the stock is concerned.
Okay.
I think the uncertainty still prevails, and I think the company will have to address a lot of issues that have been raised, and there are legal cases that have been filed by US investors also. I think all those things will roll over, and I think we'll have to see how things pan out. So I think with respect to the valuations, I think there is further downgrade that could happen in the short term, short to medium term, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Dhananjay, from a market's point of view, yes, every quarter earnings are not coming through,
yes,
and people are saying wait for another quarter or next 2 quarters.
Yes.
How are you going to justify to your investors, clients who are going to come here, as to why industry looks an attractive bet?
So as far as valuations are concerned, I think there has been a concern given the context that earnings have not really panned out as per expectation, and that has been the case over the past so many years
now. Correct.
Yeah, and I think there was an expectation that post demonetization there will be a rebound in earnings, fortunes will improve, etc. But I think this quarter itself we are seeing that margins have contracted, notwithstanding some betterment as far as sales growth is concerned. So profit has actually contracted. So this whole expectation that people had ahead of the year that there will be a 20 to 20% growth is not going to happen. So
what is your estimate? How much we can
I think
for 18 and 19?
It appears that it is going to be very flattish. It could be in the region of 5 to 10%. Ahead of the year, I had an expectation of about 10%, and we thought that 20% is overambitious. But it does appear that even 10% will be challenged.
Okay.
So we'll have to see. The GST is also sort of impacting. There is a lingering impact of demonetization, etc., which is actually having that lingering effect on the earnings.
So how much there could be a downside to this market now? We've already corrected 4-5% from the top, close to 9,700 levels.
Yes.
Is there a realistic chance that we can go back to 9,000 odd levels, given that valuations are not?
So it is a very difficult call. See, the way to really look at is that as far as domestic is concerned, you have considerable amount of flow that is happening as far as mutual funds are concerned, and I think post demonetization the net inflow has gone up to almost like 10,000 crores.